Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I try to be on this live Tuesdays at 2 o'clock every week, but I just got done with a mastermind that I'm a part of, a couple of agents and a lender. When we sit down and we talk about different stuff, and we were talking and strategizing about wealth building today. And one of the things that, we're talking about is purchasing a home versus purchasing a duplex. And let me kind of clarify. This is a little bit different than the regular topics that we talk about. So for those of you who've read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the premise of it is poor people versus rich people, okay? And this is not to offend anybody. It's just the what the book says. Right, and a lot of times, or not a lot of times, the book says that poor people, and remember, broke is a mindset. Poor is forever, right? But if you were to purchase a house, have a mortgage, all that kind of stuff, that's money that's coming out of your pocket. Okay. Now I'm all about home ownership, but one of the things we were talking about is purchasing a duplex or a triplex or something like that. And maybe if you don't have a whole lot of people in your family, maybe there's 2 or 3 of you or something like that, purchasing a duplex. And so out of the 2, you live in one and you rent out the other one. Now, especially for my military folks out there, not just military, everybody, all of you people I love. So, the thought is you buy a duplex, you're renting one of those out, and just as an example, I was looking at a duplex in Pueblo West the other day, or not Pueblo West, Pueblo, $165,000. Both of those units were renting out for around $750 bucks each. So what if you were to buy a duplex, live in one of them, rent the other one out? Now, based off of the math, and depending on how much you have to put down, that one that's being rented could almost pay for the house, the whole thing itself. You might have to come out of pocket a couple, maybe $500, but your tenant is also paying $500 or whatever that number is. I'm just trying to give you guys a different train of thought. I know a lot of people are very emotional when it comes to buying a home, right? This is where they're going to live. This is where their family's going to be and so forth. But what I want you to do is I want you to think long term. I know a lot of people don't think like this, and that's okay. But in the long term, you would be able to use that property later on. And say, for instance, you live in that for a while and the equity builds. Already you've got half of your mortgage payment being paid for by the tenant. Now you go and buy another one, let's say. You rent out that other one, it's paying for itself at this point. But that's an asset that you have. You can use that you could do a cash out refi. You can use that money to buy another one possibly. There's just a whole but I want you guys to be thinking, I don't want you to think like just a straight homeowner, all right? I want you guys to start thinking, especially for those who are younger. I wish I would have known this stuff when I was younger. I would have maybe taken charge of my destiny a little bit more. Hey, Chris, what's going on, buddy? Anyways, just something to think about. If you have any questions about that, give us a ring, text us, whatever, if you're interested in finding out more about it. This is not about selling you a duplex, but it's more of, hey, let's talk about wealth building. Let's strategize. How can you utilize your money in a better way than just buying going the traditional route and being emotional about your house? Now, some people, they don't have the mindset for this, and that's okay. But for those who do, especially for those of you who, like, say for instance, just you and your wife and you're married, you're in the military, whatever, you don't have a bunch of kids, this is something that you could do easily, and you could build up your wealth. When you come to when it gets ready to be retirement time, you have passive income already hitting your door. So for those military folks, you got your retirement. The retirement is great, but it's not enough, especially if you have a lifestyle that requires more money, right? So just something to think about. If you guys ever want to talk about that again, let me know. Shoot me a text. I'd love to sit down, coffee, do a Zoom meeting with you, and just brainstorm. I think it's awesome. Something to think about. See you next Tuesday.